What's up, y'all? It's Thien back with another video today. Today's video is going to be about how I became a senior software engineer right out of boot camp with no experience. So in this video, I'll be talking about my experience before boot camp and my mindset going into boot camp, the actual job search process, and if this is possible for you. Experience before boot camp. I was a college dropout, convicted felon. I was supposed to do life insurance sales. That didn't work out because of my felony. I ended up working at Levi's and Macy's simultaneously. I was a inventory manager at Levi's. I would show up, 4 a.m., working all the way to 2 p.m., and then I'd have to go change into a suit and pull up to Macy's, which was about an hour away, and work the menswear department until closing, and then rinse and repeat, for 6 months. I did that for a while. And, I wanted to finish my college degree. I didn't want to keep working retail. I wanted more for myself. And fortunately, I was able to get a second chance at university. Ended up graduating with a bachelor's of science degree in economics. And I ended up moving to New York City shortly after that. My first job in New York City was a technical recruitment job. And I saved up enough runway for about 6 months after that job and quit when I saved up enough and went for boot camp. And my mindset going into a coding boot camp was, I saw the numbers from recruitment. I was seeing how much, companies were paying me and how much I was paying programmers. Companies were paying me like $300 an hour, and then I was paying programmers like $100 an hour. So there was just a lot of wiggle room there. And I figured, if I could learn how to program, I could learn how to make the big bucks. And I saw my best friend do it, and he found success straight out of boot camp. He got a senior engineering role right out of boot camp and got $150K pay right out the gates. So I was driven to get at least $150K. I knew it was possible. Obviously, New York is not as, technically progressive as San Francisco Bay Area, but I thought it was possible. I believed it was possible. And I wanted to even go above beyond and go for, $250K. The boot camp I was going to, there was data backing up that one of the alumni was getting $200K from Disney straight out of boot camp. And I was seeing a lot of new grads at the top tech giants making the $250K. So I said, why not $250K for a senior role? And that's what I aimed for. And so boot camp was a means to an end for me, right? And that end was to get a software engineering role. I knew that the difference between a senior and anything below a senior was purely confidence. I treated software engineering job as just a job, and I knew that in any job, senior and anything below that was differentiated by purely confidence in terms of getting the actual job. So I was still open to any role, and I understood that, throughout the interview process, and I could get down leveled, and that was totally fine for me. So if I was aiming for a senior level role and ended up at mid or junior level, I still got a job, and I'm not, that was the goal, that was the end. So that was the mindset going to the boot camp. Now for the job search process itself, the last 2 weeks of boot camp were related to how to get a job, and I took everything I could from that, but I, had my own strategy going into the game, and that was to play the numbers game. I took some portions out of the boot camp, but, the numbers game wasn't preached at the boot camp. They actually preached against it. They believed in the quality of job applications. I believed in the quantity. And so, again, take with it as you will. This is what worked for me. And I was already applying for jobs the moment we started that how to get a job portion of the boot camp at the end. I didn't have any time to waste. I didn't want to risk any downtime. I wanted to get a job as fast as possible due to my runway. I didn't have much time left. And so I was already interviewing, during that last 2 weeks of boot camp where, people were still working on their resumes. I just wanted to get out there. I was already getting interviews at FANG companies, and, the questions weren't as bad as I thought they would be. So the FANG company interviews, I was interviewing at Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, not Netflix, but I had interviews with all of them during my stint, my first stint on applying for jobs. Didn't get to final rounds with any of them, but they definitely all gave me a boost in confidence knowing that I was able to get the interviews. And so I applied for over 20,000 jobs in the span of a month, that first job search. And I interviewed at over 500 companies, and I got offers from 4 different companies. My first offer was $95K. I negotiated to $110K. It was a small advertising company. Super happy and super grateful for that first offer. It let me know that my foot was definitely in the door and in the industry. My second offer was $135K, which I negotiated to $155K at a small dev shop. So I hit my goal at least $150K, and I was happy about that too. And my third offer And actually, my last offer, both were coming in at the same exact time. The third offer was 160K from Colgate, which I was able to negotiate to 175K using and leveraging my other offers. And my last offer that I ended up accepting was from KeyBank for 195K, and I was able to negotiate an additional 10K on the sign-on bonus. So what happened there was, 195K was already way more than I was expecting and what I wanted and what I was going for. And I knew the name of the game was to still negotiate regardless of this is what you're going to take. So I asked for 205K. So if they were able to meet me in the middle, give me that 200K salary, I would have been more than happy. If they said no, then they said no. I would just take the 195K and run with it. But they were able to give me an extra 10K sign-on bonus. So I'm not complaining. And that first offer was a mid-level role, but the other 3 offers were all senior level roles. So that's what happened for me with my job search process the first time around. In conclusion, is this possible for you? 100%. But I will say that my path is not common, and I'm not anything special. I'm an ex-convict. I was a college dropout at one point. So I'm definitely an outlier, and I definitely took a much more aggressive route towards the job search compared to most. But the biggest takeaway that I want to take from all this is to keep applying and not to let any rejections knock any of us down. Understand that this is all a numbers game, and even if you're not playing numbers and trying to play the quality over quantity, you're still on the numbers. So some choose quality over quantity, but I didn't, and I had the confidence to back that up. Confidence can definitely be built. Mine was built over time, and I believe in y'all. Get to it, keep applying, keep it moving. And until next time, y'all, hope y'all like this video. Peace.